Ministry of Information and Communications, and this is the weekly national press briefing of the ministry. May I implore all of us to please offer our silent individual prayers. Amen. Amen. Please let us put our phones on silent or vibration to avoid distraction during the press briefing. Journalists, you can send forward your recorders. We start this week's press briefing with a weekly update, and the Honorable Vice President, Dr. Mohamed Julie Jallo, has on Wednesday, 18th May 2022, launched the Transformative Leadership for Gender Equality Through Education Conference at the Bintumani Conference Center in Freetown. The Vice President, in his statement, explained about the achievements made by the government of Sierra Leone on gender parity in schools through transformative policies. A one-day training session for cabinet ministers on e-cabinet was held at the New Brookfields Hotel on Tuesday, 17th May 2022. The training aims to enhance the capacity of ministers in using technology to present government programs and policies through electronic means. The Minister of Water Resources, Engineer Philip Karim Lansana, has led the first ministerial dialogue session at the ongoing Sanitation and Water for All Sector Ministers meeting in Jakarta, Indonesia. The minister delivered a speech on tackling deforestation of water catchment areas and other risks to water supply and security. The Ministry of Youth Affairs, with support from UNDP, is conducting training for 300 youths in car wash project. The training will include general service maintenance, basic bookkeeping, and behavioral change. The project is aimed to complement government efforts in providing jobs for young people across the country. And lastly, on Wednesday, 18th May 2022, the attention of the President of Sierra Leone Association of Journalists, Ahmed Said Nasrallah, was drawn to a robbery at the association's national headquarters at Campbell Street, Freetown. The matter is currently under investigation by the Criminal Investigation Department. Thank you very much for listening. I will now invite the Honorable Minister to introduce our guest for today. Thank you.
That's not protocol. The minister does not introduce. Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. And so, it's quite a pleasure to have all of you here today. You know, this week has been a double whammy. You were here on Monday. I'm very excited to see all of you here again. It's my great pleasure to present to you the man who will lead today's discussions. He's no less a person than somebody who has been charged by His Excellency to put local content at the heart and center of everything we do in our policies, in our contracts, in our transactions, in our employment, and in every facet of Sierra Leonean life, including manufacturing and production. So, Mr. Fodeba Dabo, who is no stranger here, who has made local content, discussions around it. One of the biggest successes has been he has succeeded in bringing it on the discussion tables. And beyond that, he's also been doing a lot of heavy lifting to make local content the end thing. For that reason, for the very first time this year, His Excellency effusively mentioned local content in his address to the nation. So sit tight and listen to Mr. Fodeba Dabo as he takes us through what they have done so far and what they will unveil in coming days. But that's not for me to say at all. He will take you through that himself. Thank you very much.
All right. Good afternoon. It's a pleasure pleasure to be here at the press briefing. Again, like the minister reiterated, my name is Fode Baltabo. I'm the Director General for Local Content Agency Sierra Leone. As you all know, the work of this agency cut across every sector of the economy of Sierra Leone, ranging from manufacturing, procurement of goods and services, mining, industrial, agribusiness, agriculture, hospitality, to name but a few, and services as well. As a way of a background, local contents, as you know, was established by an Act of Parliament in 2016 to ensure compliance to our local content laws, primarily to ensure Sierra Leonean and Sierra Leonean businesses are prioritized, primarily to ensure our indigenous Sierra Leoneans are given first consideration when it comes to employment, when it comes to capacity development, when it comes to procurement tendering processes. That is also key. What have we been doing as an agency? First and foremost, it is no secret that my humble self, as the first appointed Director General, inherited a zero structure as far as local content implementation is concerned. Implementation of local content started with us. With us, I mean the new direction government, of which no less of a person but His Excellency the President leads. We have done incredibly well in, first and foremost, making sure local content is taken at the doorstep of every Sierra Leoneans, for them to understand the concept in itself so that it cannot be misconstrued. And now we have succeeded immensely, as the Honorable Minister reiterated, to take it. You know, in this position, I decided myself, the Director General, to set myself one simple policy objective, which is to make sure we get local content to the doorstep of His Excellency the President, so that the whole issue about political will could be a theme of the past. I remain humble with my team for the President to be able to highlight some of the gains we've made and we continue to make as an agency. The work of the agency cut across key pillars, of which one has to do with what we are doing here right now, enabling environment for popularization of the work, making sure that everybody is aware of what local content is about. And with that, I cannot thank enough the 4th estates. Some of you have tirelessly followed the work of this agency to make sure we take it down to the least people in Sierra Leone. We have a whole lot more to do and will continue to do as such. Last year precisely, in November, with the work of this agency, our development partner, precisely the GIZ, came and supported this agency to host the first ever regional local content conference. That is key. Deliberately choosing Sierra Leone to play host to our regional other countries like Ivory Coast, Guinea, and Liberia, because we are at a far advanced stage when it comes to local content implementation. That platform was to ensure we compare notes so that we will know as a region how do we ensure what is happening in Sierra Leone is happening in Guinea, Liberia, and Ivory Coast. our business development department, for the first time ever, I mean, I would say, as a matter of fact, this is no secret. Data has always informed our work. We have created immensely what we call market opportunities for our locally produced goods here in Sierra Leone. Now, there is no, and I mean no, and I'm yet to see one major supermarket outlets here in Sierra Leone without a dedicated shelf for our made in Sierra Leone products. I think that is huge. I mean, how did we get there? We decided to make sure that, you know, it's not only, yes, you could have all the regulatory authority, power, because you are an act of parliament established, but I mean, it's not forceful implementation sometimes that makes things happen. It's about social dialogue. We engage the supermarket management for them to understand that this is the only Sierra Leone we have, and we have responsibility as government to create market opportunities for our locals in that sector, especially agribusiness. We call them into meetings, such as roundtable, for them to understand. Now, fast forward, across the country, there's no major supermarket outlets that do not have our made in Sierra Leone products. I think that is key. What that tells you is that we have succeeded actually also in, ensuring that we bring our entrepreneurs up to speed. Because that's another thing again, local content for us does not mean we settle for substandard here in Sierra Leone. We want to be able to make sure they can compete not only at this local stage, but at the global stage as well. You cannot get at that stage if your products and services are not up to the quality and standards. So what have we been doing? We've been providing them with what we call enhancing the skill set of our local entrepreneurs through capacity building, because there is a huge capacity gap in making sure they understand basically what value addition is about, in making sure they understand basically what it means about quality and standards, in making sure they understand simply what it means about basic procurement tendering processes, what branding is about, packaging, you know, those basic things. And today, they have upped their game. I'll tell you with absolute certainty that most of them have now been able, with the support, with the intervention of our agency, have now been able to get their product where it needs to be, ready for importation, not only produce them here. So and again, key to our work is skilled workforce development. What have we done? You know, many times we're tired, sick and tired of multinational companies, whether in the mining sector or other sectors, construction. If we ask them why Sierra Leoneans are not employed, they will tell us simply, oh, we don't know where to find qualified Sierra Leoneans. That's the reason why we are bringing expatriates in country to work. So as a key deliverable for us, what have we done? We've decided to create critical database for Sierra Leoneans, qualified Sierra Leoneans home and abroad. You know, it's a matter of just going on our website. You can upload your curriculum vitae, your qualifications, then we can link you. You know, linkages is key to the work we do. As you all know, tomorrow again, and for the purpose of this press briefing, we are going to have a groundbreaking exhibition, which is the Made in Sierra Leone Trade Fair and Exhibition. Groundbreaking in the sense, we've been doing it year in, year out. But for it to capture the attention of His Excellency the President and the First Lady of this country, who are going to be the guest of honor, tomorrow exhibition is primarily about our Made in Sierra Leone product. And I'm deliberate about this. You cannot find anything displayed for exhibition if that product is not made in Sierra Leone. Because made in Sierra Leone is an overarching objective for us. We want to be able to make sure we are proud that this product is made in Sierra Leone without compromising quality and standard. So we carefully selected them. We have entrepreneurs registered with us, but unfortunately we cannot bring all of them to exhibits because of obvious reasons. We set criteria that some of them could not meet. But I'm happy and delighted to report that the 200 or more vendors across the countries that are in 8 different sectors will be there to display their made in Sierra Leone, ranging from manufacturing sector, art and craft sector, clothing and textile, our services, our agribusiness sector, our wood and carpentry sector, because that's another thing. We want to showcase that Sierra Leoneans themselves can do our furniture, our doors, our chairs without compromising quality. So tomorrow's event is a groundbreaking. Tomorrow is just the opening. It's going to be a 3 days exhibition at the Radisson Blue Garden Hotel from tomorrow to Sunday. So that's the essence why we're here, just to make sure. I know a lot of you have already been getting the message out there. It's open to the general public, but again, as you all know, for the most part, the open session, having His Excellency the President and the First Lady as guests of honor will be controlled, just to make sure that those with invitations will be seated. But let it be known, all media houses, and I mean all of you, are invited to this groundbreaking event. Local contents, we cannot change the narrative alone as agency. We need a buy-in from the 4 states, from the private sector, from our developing partners, the donors, the diplomatic and consular corps. All of them will be in attendance in tomorrow's event and beyond. So with those few remarks, that's primarily why we decided to come and brief you all on tomorrow's events. I want to thank you all. If you have any specific question, feel free to let me know. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Director. I noticed you wanted to start coordinating the question and answer session. That's not your responsibility. We all know that by tradition, when the presentations are done, we'll start asking the questions. I noticed that the room is a little bit sparsely populated. I hope that does not represent apathy or lack of interest. I'm not sure that's the case. But anyway, I will now hand over to Mr. Peacock to coordinate the question and answer session. Thank you, Mr. Peacock. I'm just being informed that you're going to have another statement and go forward. Okay.
Yes.
It's
Thank
Maria
you.
Mala, cyber security boss. And I think she wants to tell us a few things. We'll come to that once she's through with her presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. As you are aware, last year, Parliament enacted the Cybersecurity and Crime Act 2021, and it received presidential assent by His Excellency the President in November of the same year. This act actually was created to combat cyber crimes and as well protect government critical information infrastructure and provide safer cyberspace for all citizens. As part of the act enforcement in February of 2021, in February 2022, I was appointed by His Excellency the President to serve as the National Cybersecurity Coordinator based on the provisions of the Act. And my role mainly is to establish and head in the National Cybersecurity Coordinating Center, which will be an entity under the Ministry of Information and Communication and responsible for managing cyber incidents in the country and also handling all cybersecurity issues. On assumption of my duty, one of the primary objectives for me was actually empowering the judiciary, because now that we have an act, we need to make sure that we empower the judiciary, the prosecutors, and also the law enforcement, so that they will be able to effectively and efficiently adjudicate, prosecute, and also investigate cyber crimes consecutively. Though prior actions had actually been taken before the enactment of the law, but it was based on, it was a theoretical thing. So now, in this regard, the National Cybersecurity Coordination Center, in collaboration with the Judiciary of Sierra Leone and Organized Crime West African Response on Cybersecurity and Fight Against Cybercrime, which is known as OPACI project. It's a regional project actually that is being sponsored by ECOWAS and EU. We are hosting a judicial training on cybercrime and electronic evidence from the 24th to the 27th of May, that is next week, at the Radisson Blu Hotel. This training actually will serve as a training of trainers, because we want a situation wherein we now have a law, as we all know, but we want to make sure that we empower all the key stakeholders for them to be able to effectively implement the law. So it will serve as a training of trainers where 20 judges, including the Chief Justice, will be trained, because they are tutors of the Judiciary and Training Technical Institute, which is like a training institute within the Judiciary of Sierra Leone. And all of them will be trained on cybercrime and cybersecurity related matters. Cybercrime-related matters, sorry. The mindset actually for this training is for them to be able to institutionalize cybercrime within the Judiciary and Legal Training Institute. We don't want a situation wherein just few judges know how to adjudicate cases on cybercrime. We want to make sure that all judges, all magistrates, they know what cybercrime is and how to handle the situation, because it's actually a technical instrument. So the judges will be capacitated to interpret and apply the technicalities of the Cybersecurity and Crime Act, which we all know deviates to some extent from the traditional court system, because now it's crime that is happening within the cyberspace, and it's not something that is usual, which is usually the normal murder case, the normal theft case, and everything of the sort. So after the training, at the end of the training, we hope to achieve adaptation and localization of cybercrime and electronic evidence, training curriculum and manual, which is being provided by experts from the OPACI project, for it to be integrated into Sierra Leone Judicial and Legal Training Institute training programs. Also, we hope that the training of faculty staff, because all the judges that will be there are tutors of the institute, the Judiciary Training Institute, so that it will be effectively disseminated to, the training content will be effectively disseminated to other judges, magistrates, and lawyers, that is government lawyers, the ones that are working within the law officers department. Also, during this training, judges will be introduced to concept of cyber crimes and its related activities, including explanation of different terminologies within the law, so that they will be able to understand the legislation as well as all international conventions. Because as we all know, cybercrime is not a one-man thing. It's not a one nation cannot handle it. It's something that is borderless. And when I mean borderless, I can sit here and then I can commit crime in America, in Europe, wherever. So based on that, it's something that globally, we all need to make sure that we handle it properly. So they will be able to interpret the different conventions. That means the Budapest Conventions, because as a ministry and as an institution, we hope to accede to the Budapest Convention, And also there have already been ECOWAS directives and the Malabo Convention that the country has already signed up to. So as part of that, at the end of the training as well, we hope that like the judges, we have the building block for them to engage in other advanced program or specialized courses. So as an institution, we are setting the stage such that the acts that has been enacted will be properly enforced within this nation. I just want to say thank you and
thank you very much, Mariama. So we'll now go into the business as usual. We'll start with the first presentation done by the Director of Local Content. Mr. Peacock, you want to coordinate this question and answer session, please? Thank you.
Thank you very much. We want to have 2 sets of questions of 4 each, and the floor is open to members of the 40 states for your questions. Yes, there is a hand up behind that, at the back. Your name and media institution.
My name is Vladis Vaskamara. I'm from Freedom Radio. My question is, Director, how secure and ready are your program for this weekend? How secure and ready?
Thank you. We have another one over here.
Thank you very much, Coordinator. Thank you. To the Director, Sierra Leoneans want to consume locally produced items or local products. But the problem we are having is the availability. We go to the local restaurant to cook and other places. The locally produced, let's say, rice is hardly available. And even oil, locally produced oil, palm oil, not oil and other things are not available. Not only at the rivers, quote unquote, but even on the market. How best has your agency worked hard to ensure these items or local products or local producers are empowered or who are encouraged to go into farming of these local products? Now you go to the streets there, even the cashew nut we used to buy is hard to get now. And you are here telling us about being available on the shelves of the supermarkets. Where to go, even to take motorbike to go is more than 20,000. I'm going to buy something like 15,000. What is your industry or agency doing to ensure that we first empower locally produced farmers? Because if you want to go back to local content, I think locally produced or local farmers have to be empowered. If the items are not available, they are not available. That's one. Now we go into the mining sector. The mining sector currently is not in the hands of local. Mostly it's in the hands of the foreigners because of the what's the things there. In terms of
I'll advise you.
Yes, go straight to the question, please.
All right. How is your agency working to ensure you empower local industries or individuals in the mining sector, in as much as we now have condition that only those financial mushrooms, international multinational companies, have the power to not embark on local mining? Thank you.
Yeah, any other? There's a hand up there, please.
Momelami Banya from AYV. First off, Director, I would like to know so far what have you done to make made in Sierra Leone produce value in the country. Taking the cue from what Fire was saying, you might want to use the Leone, which is the made in Sierra Leone cement. But looking at the value of it, so that will be Dangote. So what have you done so far to the program? What value can this program, can this add again to the local content, the local content in the country. Finally, how much have you improved the capacity of local suppliers in the country? Thank you.
Thank you very much. One more. If none, we go over to DG for his response.
All right, so
Sorry.
I'll just start from the last. In terms of what have we done as an agency to add value, basically, to our products, right? In terms of capacity enhancement. I told you, it's no hidden secret that we cannot compete if the capacity gap still remains to exist. So as an agency, we have embarked year in, year out, in making sure that the capacity of our locals are enhanced. It's very, very much important. It's a key deliverable for the agency, year in, year out, not only in Freetown here, but across the country. And it's properly coordinated. We have staff within the business development that have been trained by professional experts. They are trained of trainers. We go into those small town villages. I mean, we cannot assemble, like, go into this. So what we normally do, if we are in the southern province, we use like Bo as the headquarter, and we bring them along from Moyamba, Kujon, to come to Bo. We do the same for the north, to come to Makeni, northwest, to come to Kotoko, and the like. This is an annual enhancement of skill set for local entrepreneurs, and that has added a whole lot of value. Now, I'll give you an example. Local content, like I mentioned, does not mean because you have local content, so we should settle for substandard. As a matter of fact, we are not also there to promote entrepreneurs that are not ready to compete with their foreign counterparts. Local content is about competition, competitiveness, productivity. We, as much as, like, for instance, I mentioned about the linkage or shelf we've created in our supermarket outlets. Trust me, if your product is not up to standards, we will not allow your products to be placed there for obvious reasons. I'll give you an example. Last year, the CRS country director, who is a foreign national from America, came to our agency just to say thank you, to show gratitude. I was like, what? So now you've made things so easy for us. I mean, we travel year in, year out to our family on vacations. It's hard to take along something from Africa or Australia, So, but now you've made it so easy for us. We know we can go to the supermarket, get a shelf from made Israel, we can grab gifts that we can just easily take, that is well packaged, to the standard, and they will appreciate it from Sierra Leone. So for us, that's what this is about. We are quite not there yet, but we needed to start from somewhere. I mean, 3 to 4 years from back then, there was no structure. I mean, now at least we're here talking about Made in Israel. We're here planning for the Made in Israel exhibition tomorrow to showcase the best among all. I mean, like I mentioned, we deliberately selected those that could exhibit, just so that, I mean, it's not even only for us as Sierra Leoneans, but foreign nationals, for them to know. Because bear in mind, the whole idea about local content, there's no justification why, if a product is of standard and quality here in Sierra Leone, for us to leave and go overseas to bring that similar product. But at the same time, if it's not of quality, we will actually not coerce people. So it's about competition, it's about making sure our product is up to standard so that we can compete. So value addition is critical for us. Your palm oil, your coconut oil, how do you add value? So that, I mean, you have justification why it can make it, in fact, to the shelf of the supermarket. Bear in mind, we have foreign products as well in those supermarkets. it's been tough before now. When our local producers take those products to the supermarket, they will tell them, oh no, we don't sell local products, we have foreign products. So because of the incredible, immense contribution of this agency, now we can proudly say, boldly written, made in Sierra Leone products are in the shelf of supermarkets across the country. So I think we are in a step of the right direction. We are not quite here in terms of 100% compliances, in terms of 100% making sure our entrepreneurs are ready, but I think at this point, they are at a point where their products can compete. I know there was a question about how ready are we, and in terms of security. I will assure you that as I sit here, in terms of planning, readiness, almost I would say 99%. I will leave the 1% to the inclement weather condition, because exhibitions are outdoors. We don't, so join me for us to pray that we will not have any surprises with the weather in the morning. So yes, in terms of security, what did we do? Just to make sure the setup that is there today, the people's canopies, the products are safe. We requested security for today, the 19th, and a day after. So what that means, from today to Monday, there's security there 24 hours. So yes, we are ready. Okay, another gentleman was talking about the availability of our products. Why do we have to schedule? Why do we have to ensure the products made to the supermarkets and not for the common man out there in the streets? I think we do. We're mindful of that, and we're mindful of the gap in the supply chain. That's the reason. You see, the supermarket thing and the market linkage stuff is a deliberate thing. Bear in mind, I see no reason why our young Sierra Leoneans could be passing around selling a pack of cashew nuts, maybe for 10,000 leones, but they just need to add a little bit of value to it by packaging it well and place it in the supermarket for 60,000 leones. That's how you create wealth. It's deliberate on our side. Bear in mind, our goal and objective, we want to make this economy a local content economy. We are in Sierra Leoneans, and Sierra Leonean businesses can take ownership of this economy. We are mindful that as it is right now, the economy is in the hands of the foreign nationals. And that's a fight we do. It's a tough one. So all of us have to come on board. You have to believe in your Sierra Leone. You have to believe in your products, that your products can compete. That's what we do. We have to wear Sierra Leone, buy Sierra Leone, believe in the mantra of, as most times His Excellency would put it, let's eat what we grow and grow what we eat. So that's what local content for us is about. And local content also speaks to patriotism and nationalism. It has to be personal. You have to believe in yourself. People that knows me, I don't put on suits for no reason. For the past almost 3 to 4 years, I'm yet to see myself wearing suits for, what I wear every day are things, that are done here in Sierra Leone. It's as simple as that. Because there's no justification why I should leave Sierra Leonean tailors, pay them to go sew my products in Ghana or Nigeria, as the case may be. So it's about patriotism and nationalism. So I think I've done justice to most of the questions.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Director. I don't know if I'm allowed to answer questions. Oh, is there any more questions?